Hi, and welcome to Week 10, Part 2 of English 2332. I've just posted the assignment sheet for your third response paper and wanted to take a few minutes to go over it with you. Before we get to that, though, let me point out something to you. We're in Week 10 of the semester, but we've already done, 15 or 16 discussion posts. So we won't be doing 2 a week anymore. We'll be doing 1 most weeks, and some weeks we won't have any at all. So basically, if you can see it, that means it's open. The discussion post is only open if you can see it. And if it's open, then it's due. So if you see a discussion post, go ahead and answer it before the deadline, which is usually Sunday night at 11:55 p.m. Anyway, the deadline for this paper is Thursday, April 17th, before 11:55 p.m. So that gives you right at 3 weeks. Very similar to the first 2. It just asks you to pick any specific aspect of one of the 3 reading assignments and react to it. You can write about any single specific aspect of Beowulf. Now, if you want to do that, I would pick something like Beowulf's fight with the dragon, or Beowulf's fight with Grendel, or maybe pick some aspect of the minor character, maybe pick one of the themes, heroism, or the inclusion, the conversion to Christianity. As you know from reading the poem, it was originally written in an atheistic culture, and then when the medieval scribes went back and recopied it, they added in aspects of Christianity to it. So the Christian aspects were definitely tagged on at the end. You could write about that if you'd like to. Or you could write about any single specific aspect of the Inferno. And again, you're going to really want to narrow that focus down, narrow the aspect in pretty tight. Don't retell the story. But if I were going to do the Inferno, I would probably pick one of the layers of hell and what sins were committed there and their punishments, or the description of the devil, or when he first meets Virgil. So pick just one specific thing and then just tell me how you feel about it. The devil is painted with this giant creature with 3 faces, and on whom he's chewing on the 3 worst traitors of all time. Of course, 2 of them were Roman senators, and then the 3rd one, Judas Iscariot. But yeah, just tell me how you feel about it. And then as you're revising the paper, as you're reviewing the paper, you want to take all that first person out. Do not submit your paper using first person pronouns. I think this, I saw that, I feel this. Go ahead and write your paper. Go ahead and tell me how you feel. But then as you revise the paper, take out the I thinks, the I feel, I believe, which are just filler anyway. And you really definitely, But anyway, the assignment sheet says select one specific aspect of your topic and focus like a laser beam on that. Feel free to express confusion or clarity, questions or facts, but don't retell the story. What I'm looking for is a good understanding of the source and a thoughtful response to it. What is your reaction and why do you feel that way? Okay. So I would pick whichever one of those 3 things, either Beowulf or the Inferno or the Green Knight, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, whichever one of those I enjoyed the most. The Inferno is going to have the most aspects to it. The Inferno is just huge. It's just got a lot of stuff there. Beowulf is probably going to have the least amount, and Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is going to me, it's the most relatable. It's certainly written understandable to our culture, if that makes sense. It's the most understandable from a novice point of view. So if you don't like interpreting your literature or looking for hidden meanings or anything like that, yeah, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, probably your cup of tea. But again, narrow it down. Now, if you want to, and I would encourage you, if you're not sure, just drop me an email and say, Mr. Fly, I'm thinking about writing about Sir Gawain's shield and his armor. And then I'll email you back and say, wow, that's great. That sounds really good. I'm looking forward to what you have to say. Or I might say, well, that's a little too broad. Why don't you focus just on his shield? Or that may be a little too much to handle. Why don't you focus just on his sword? Or maybe that's too narrow. You might need to broaden your aspect a little bit and focus on both the sword and the shield and the helmet. But anyway, pick a topic that you enjoy and just give me a reaction to it. Now, don't forget, the last sentence of the introduction, which is called the thesis, has to clearly answer the research question. So be sure your thesis either says this aspect of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, put the title of the work in the thesis, put the aspect that you're going to address, and then what your reaction is. Okay? Or specific aspect of the Inferno is, and your reaction can just be it's confusing, or it's well done, or it's well conveyed, or it it doesn't have to be profound or in depth or earth shaking, just something pretty simple. When Beowulf ripped off Grendel's arm in the epic poem Beowulf, then the response is joyful. Probably not joyful, but you know what I'm saying here. All right, now, of course, you want to proofread carefully, and that means going back before you submit and looking for grammar mistakes. Okay, the title of a short story or a poem is always in quotation marks. The title of an unpublished student paper, like your essay, doesn't use quotation marks or italics, or underline. It just uses initial caps only. And the title of, like, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is a book-length poem, or Beowulf, which is a book-length poem, or the Inferno, which is a book-length poem, those all go in italics, just like a book. Yeah, three poems. Cool. Okay. I really think you're going to enjoy Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. We don't come up on it for a couple of weeks, but really, really good poem. And when you get to learn a little bit about the history of it, it's going to make more sense to you, and I think you'll enjoy it even more. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I look forward to hearing from you.